Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Brownies podcast. Arr, arr, arr. Today's topic it's about dun 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 climate change. Alright, in case you live under a rock and you don't know what climate change is, the term climate change encompasses global warming, but refers to the broader range of changes that are happening to our planet. And my source is from NASA, so it gotta be right. Anyways, I got two very special guests with me. One is a local manufacturing factory owner named Eric Bustamante, and my other special guest is an activist group who's trying to get rid of climate change named Andrew Salazar. Andrew, would you like to start off your statement?
Yeah, Matt, thanks for having me. See, there's a lot of buzz around climate change. Let's look at the facts to better understand one of the greatest challenges of our times. These broader climate changes include rising sea levels, shrinking mountain glaciers, accelerating ice melt in Greenland, Antarctica, and the Arctic, and at times shifts in flower and plant blooming times. And that's my statement for now.
Thank you. Now, Eric.
Though Andrew brings up a good point, pollution isn't always the main cause in climate change. And even the products we manufacture don't even cause pollution as much.
Thank you, Eric, for that statement that you had. Now, Andrew, what do you think about his statement?
Now, plastic may not be the main cause towards climate change. This is something I'll bring up later on. But for now, another main cause is another human activity called greenhouse gas emissions, which is considered the dominant cause of temperature increase. This greenhouse effect refers to the way the Earth's atmosphere traps and absorbs solar energy. Due to this, as the temperatures rise, the average number of people exposed to heat waves has increased by approximately 125 million since the beginning of the century. And companies such as Eric's right here are involved in this type of gas emissions as they continue to produce and manufacture more products among their territory.
Yeah, Andrew, I do believe with you that air pollution is bad because I was doing some research, and air pollution can damage crops and trees in various ways. So, ground level ozone can lead to reductions in crops and commercial forest yields, reducing the growth and survivability of tree seedlings, and can increase the plant to get diseases and pests and other environmental stresses, like harsh weather.
I'm about to disagree with you both right there. In some certain instances, air pollution has been proven to help plants grow. The nitrogen, theoretically pulling more nitrogen in the air, might actually cause plants to grow more. And pollution preservation protects the environment.
We're going to take a short break from our podcast to let you know about our proud sponsor, Dollar Shave Club. Have you tried Dollar Shave Club? Use code Brownie and get 10% off any purchase from dollarshave.com. It's that simple. Remember, code Brownie. This is me before using code Brownie. This is me now. Remember, use code Brownie. Now back to our regularly scheduled podcast.
Alright, let's not talk about air pollution because that's not the only thing that creates climate change. I believe ocean pollution is a very bad thing to us humans and us wildlife. Life in general, because studies have showed that the increased concentration of chemicals such as nitrogen and phosphorus have been increasing the ocean. Why? Well, why is it bad? Because that could promote the growth of algal blooms, which could be toxic to wildlife and harmful to humans. And there's many scientific ways to talk about this, but I'm gonna try saying it in the simple term. So, plastic, there's millions of pieces of plastic in the ocean, which is super bad because year after year, plastic tends to break down to smaller pieces and smaller pieces until it becomes into like micro pieces, which is bad because there's small fish, big fish. Anyway, when fish eats plastic, they eat it, and when they eat it, they can't digest it down because it's plastic and the acid in our bodies can't break it. So why is that bad? It's bad because humans, they catch fish, and the fish they catch will eventually, in years, many years after, when plastic comes into the ocean, there's more plastic in the ocean. The fishes that we catch will have plastic inside of them. And why is that bad? Because that means we'll be consuming plastic, and that means we won't be able to digest the plastic in our bodies. And That's one way we could actually die. So that's just like a simple way how to say it, how to put it down. Eric, what do you think about my statement?
Though you bring up a good point, Marcos. Pollution in the ocean is not always necessarily a bad thing. However, water pollution uh, helps in avoiding other forms of pollution, like dumping of waste in waters, helps to free the land of harmful materials. When chemicals from factories are dumped in the water rather on land, it means crops from rain-fed agriculture will not be affected. Water pollution prevents other health hazardous things. Though you bring up good points about how the affecting chemicals in the water will affect the climate change around the earth, but it's something to discuss more about.
Now, you two bring up very good points. You know what I would have to say on the subject is actually bringing up plastic pollution, which is also a big contribution towards this problem. Plastic becomes one of the most greenhouse gas intensive industries in the manufacturing sector and the fastest growing. Greenhouse gas emissions from plastic are accelerating climate breakdown and threatening our ability to maintain a survivable climate. In 2019, the production of plastics in this industry added more than 850 million metric tons of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. And from what I can remember and what researchers found out, that was the equivalent of 189 coal-fired power plants, all from production. Our planet cannot afford plastics business as usual. We have to turn the tide. There's much talk of recycling and bioplastics, but what I believe is that these are all false solutions that distract from the main thing that needs to happen, reducing plastic production. I believe we need to focus on reducing the production, reusing what we can, and then explore effective recycling as a final option. And that's what I have to say on the topic.
You guys brought up really good points in the cause of climate change, and it's had me take a different perspective and on how I see how pollution may cause a big part in climate change. I will best utilize this way into my company to help stop this pollution from more damaging our earth. Thank you guys for having me.
Alright, both of you bring up good topics of how climate change could be bad or how it could be good. But sadly, we ran out of time in today's episode, in this podcast. But thank you again, Andrew and Eric, for coming up, or for coming in today's podcast and talk about this serious issue we got in today's world about climate change. But other than that, let's try to save this world and peace out, guys. Bye bye.